On this flash disk, I have the ability to put Linux Mint Cinnamon on my main primary desktop, my daily driver, the computer I create all my content with. As a lifelong Windows user, is it time for me to use a tool like this and to let Microsoft go? What did they do to bring me to the point of creating this USB? Let's get into it. All right, guys, I'm not even kidding. I've been a Windows user my entire life. I think I started using Windows regularly in 1995 with Windows 95. I think that was released in August of 1995. I upgraded to 98. I skipped 2000. I went through the absolute carnage and pain of ME, which was released in 2000, by the way. And thankfully was able to parachute myself out into XP. I liked XP so much, guys, that I completely skipped Vista because I saw all the feedback coming out about Vista and how much of a piece of garbage it was. I supported family members that had Vista to try to fix their issues because we had a lot of laptops that were coming out with it. And I was able to kind of salvage it as best as possible, but I never put that on my primary rig. And I would imagine many of you didn't either. And then came 7. I love 7 so much, guys. I didn't even bother with Windows 8. I just rolled through 8, no problem. Kept 7 right up until 10. And since Windows 10 released in July of 2015, I've been using that nonstop. But hey, guess what? Microsoft said my computer that's even still really nice and really powerful, in my opinion, can't run Windows 11, even though it completely could, with no problem. Because I don't have a little piece of hardware on my motherboard that Microsoft wants me to have. Isn't that convenient that a company that has the largest OS share in the world can just change everything for everybody that's using it like that? Apple's not requiring that. Apple's not saying that. Sure, both companies end support eventually for OSs, but this is the first time that they're actually just completely gating the whole thing and saying you can't go to the next one, even though you're completely able to do so. But that's not half the story, guys. It's not because I can't go to 11. I don't want to go to 11. 11 is spyware, bloatware to the 9th degree. And they've given me other reasons to want to leave Microsoft too. Let's dive deeper into it right now. All right, number one, guys, obviously the forced Windows 10 end and hardware lockouts. We've already talked about that. But there's some new things on the horizon that are happening right now, guys. There's a huge privacy invasion via AI, and Microsoft is capitalizing on it. You might have heard of the new recall tool. The new recall tool takes screenshots of your activity every few seconds, storing months of data. Even if they say it's just local, it's a goldmine for hackers or misuse, and critics call it built-in surveillance. They do say you can opt in and opt out, but you know Microsoft, how much are you actually turning off? They don't have to tell you the whole story. They could keep some of that on for system security purposes. We just don't know. There's a huge telemetry and data collection overreach going on. Windows sends constant diagnostic and usage data back to Microsoft, even without clear consent. And it's always limited opt-out. Nobody ever really knows what's being tracked on a Windows computer these days. On top of that, there's an aggressive Edge and Copilot push. Now, Apple's guilty of this as well with Apple Intelligence, but these systems are on your desktop. They're going to be used by the companies for their maximum benefit, and there's nothing that you can do about it. There's nothing that we can do about it, which leads to a loss of user autonomy. Those are some big reasons, guys, but there's more. Just recently, Microsoft told everybody that they're not selling videos anymore. So everybody that's been buying seasons of shows or movies, like for example, I have my Lord of the Rings special edition. We were just left out in the cold. We were told by Microsoft, we're not selling videos anymore, and you can play your videos for now. No guarantee for how long, only that they would support the player for the near future. Well, how convenient of them to take all of that money and then just turn off the ability to purchase more and maybe in the future potentially cut off access altogether. So that leads me to this USB, guys. Linux Mint Cinnamon is on this USB ready to be deployed on my primary daily driver computer. Now, I've been doing a lot of research, watching a lot of videos, and I kind of teetered between Linux Mint Cinnamon, Pop! OS, Plasma 6, and others. But I think I'm going to roll with Mint Cinnamon for now. It seems to have the most cross support, and from a Windows baby, I appreciate the layout and structure of Mint Cinnamon. Pop! OS almost got me, but it's got kind of that Galaxy interface that reminds me of Mac, and every time I've used a Mac computer, it just didn't click. I don't like the feeling and functionality of that kind of OS, and I don't need a lot of tiling features on my computer. Now, Pop! OS will give me a 10% bonus on frames per second pretty much across the board, but guys, I don't run a 4K computer. I run a 1080p dual monitor setup. I crank every game setting to ultra and turn on vertical sync because it works on my system. I don't get any delay or input lag. I don't need that extra 10% FPS. So Mint Cinnamon seems to be the way to go for me, but I'm not totally there yet, guys. I have two options in front of me. I install this on my computer in a dual boot, or I install this on a laptop, an older laptop, and explore. And I'm kind of torn between what I want to do. No, I'm going to change that right now. I'm not going to do a dual boot. My two options are completely blitz Microsoft off of my computer, never to return, right away, or do this on an old laptop and just explore. What are your thoughts, guys? Where are you at in this process? Are you a happy Microsoft customer? Are you somebody looking to get into a Linux? Are you a longtime Linux user just happy that that operating system is about to explode in 2025 like nobody's business? People like PewDiePie have installed it. Lots of people on YouTube are recommending it. There's so many distros out there that you can customize your desktop environment to be exactly what you want. And you're in control. Anyway, guys, thanks for checking out the video. As always, take care, stay classy, and God bless. And I am looking forward to your comments on this one, guys. This feels like a huge shift in the technology landscape, and I want to hear as many opinions as I can. Adios.